Hey y'all, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. I've got kind of a mobile setup. I'm in my dining room, but my computer is over there, or my setup is over there. I am at my dining room table currently. Hey Dad. Hey Roy. Currently mixing consistencies because, you know, I can never be on time, and today has been something special as far as Miss Attitude. When I say Miss Attitude, we spent an hour crying. An hour. Just an hour of tears. Not that anything was wrong. Just an hour of tears because we could. So I am a little behind on colors, and colors are good. Colors I did yesterday. But as far as tying bags, Mom's here too. The day it's a rough day. It is a rough day. And I'm using new bags, and it turns out I hate them. So we will just have to see where this goes, because I don't have enough rubber bands for what I need. So, hey John, hey Flash fan. The day is rough. The day is rough. So here's a consistency. I'm gonna aim my camera down. So I kind of have cookie cam is how we're doing this. And this is a lot messier than I was trying to get. Hey Captain, how's the house repairs coming? For those of you that don't know, and I don't have the link right now, but Captain Kern's house, he lives in Colorado, and some of those bad storms did a lot of damage to his house, and he is raising money to fix it because, you know, that doesn't happen all by itself. So I'm trying to get a flood consistency, and it is not there yet. So basically I did cookies on Saturday. I made the icing on Monday or Sunday, did my colors, and this is just white because, you know, red, white, and blue. But I was hoping to have this done so I could just start decorating. Because I figure if I'm going to do this anyway for Thursday, I might as well take you guys with me on my adventure. So I'm doing 3 consistencies. I'm doing a stiff that I can do details, like flowers, anything I try to figure out. I'm doing a piping, and I'm doing a flood. Sometimes I do one consistency, but the last couple of times that I've done this with one consistency, I've had a few overruns, and it's just easier if I do 2, especially since I'm recording and trying to do this on camera for the first time. Oh, and taking apart my setup and moving it to my table was so much fun. Let me tell you. I just hope I can get it back the way it was, because I like it. I liked it like that. There is my flood. You can see it kind of settles into itself. Some people call it 10-second icing. I kind of do does it smoothly run off the spatula? And then I set it to the side because we get air bubbles otherwise. So I'm trying to figure out how to effectively do this in an easier fashion, because I always make this, it's always a process. And I'm trying not to be as dramatic with it. And here is my blue. So I'm not perfect at cookie decorating. I have a friend who owns a business and sells cookies that she decorates. She is way better at this than me. I just do this as a hobby. And it kind of started in the sense of when I moved down here. I'm going to give you a little insight into the family dynamics because they're not great. But this was the thing that I could do because nobody else could or would. And it kind of was the sense of like my mother-in-law was always, I love my sister-in-law. She's the sweetest person known to man. Like she's like, you know, she hates confrontation. She's like, she's a people pleaser. Not so much anymore, but like we were never as close as I wanted us to be because she's younger than me. And there was just differences. Well, I didn't realize, and I kind of did, but kind of didn't realize that Mr. Squid's mom was putting some things in both sides of the family's head. I did not realize it to the extent that it was. And because of that, this was my thing that made me because I kept getting compared. Like my mother-in-law, frankly, didn't think I cooked for the first 2 years because Mr. Squid would always be like, I got to go cook dinner, or I got to go do this, or I got to go do laundry. Frankly, it was kind of his way of getting off the phone. And we work as a team, which, like, he cooked yesterday. I cook on when I cook on weekdays, I cook. Like, he made burgers yesterday. We split the responsibilities just because that's just what we do. Like, we have that. One person doesn't do everything, which is quite nice. Especially now that I'm working, it's hard to do everything because there's just not enough hours in the day. So I am trying to mix this, and this is just warm water from, I normally use tap water, but I don't like the tap water here, so I use water from our fridge. But I set it outside for 5 minutes so that it got warm. And this is the monotonous part. Like, it is just, I love decorating cookies, and I love the way they turn out, and I love that people love them. However, it is time consuming. And right now, baby girl is eating her lunch. So she's actually content for the first time today. I have things set up for her here and there, and I might have to put this stream on pause if I need to go put her down for a nap. So that's kind of one of the consistencies I'm going for. Like, this blue took forever because blue and red and black are my other colors. And it is notorious that they just take forever because they're such saturated colors. They take a lot of dye, and the more they sit, the darker they get. So I was not happy with how this color turned out yesterday, but letting it sit overnight, it is still not as dark as I made last year. If you go to my channel page, the cover photo is the 3 colors that I had last year. And my red and my blue are both darker than this year. But I also didn't record myself, so I didn't feel any pressure to make. Yeah, Mom, I'm not getting into dynamics. I'm just, one of the reasons that I started decorating cookies was because it was the one thing that made me different, and that I had a skill that no one else did. And my sister-in-law decorates cakes, so she's definitely talented. It's just my mother-in-law would go, sister-in-law this, sister-in-law did this, sister-in-law did this. And it was like, if I made something, it would be compared to sister-in-law. So I did something that nobody else was doing so that I could not be compared. And that is a lot of unnecessary, like, we don't need to get into that because it's none of y'all's business, and I'm not putting that stuff out on the internet. But that's the reason I started doing this in the first place, was that it made me different and that I couldn't be compared, which was quite refreshing. And also, for those of you interested, since I'm not monetized, we are on the road to monetization. I have over 500 view hours, which I did not ever think I was going to have. When I started this, it was like, yeah, if I get 100 subscribers, like, I'll be happy. And then I got 100. And then I got 200. And then it was like, whoa, I got people. Like, people actually seem to. I have to go for just a second. Baby Squid's over at my desk hitting stuff. And for some reason, my mouse is still over there, and she got a hold of it. So I will be right back before she closes the stream. Yeah. Hi, silly girl. Hi, silly girl. No. Come on. I know, beautiful. I know. Who's my beautiful girl? She is trying to take everything that is on the desktop and get rid of it. And I'm sorry I'm showing y'all a leg. I'm not meaning to. She just pulled my ring light off the wall. So it's a process. This takes forever because if you add too much water, it doesn't work. Like, you just messed it up. And if you don't use enough water, you're going to kill your hands. And thank you, Captain. I've been trying. I figured out a long time ago that you can't please everybody. So I'm just going to do what I do, talk about what I want to talk about. And if y'all like it, great. And if you don't, I'm just going to keep doing my thing because that's all I can do. So this is my flood consistency for the white. And the fact that it trickles is perfect. Hi, Angel. I tried to make sure I had every baby girl contingency plan in place so that we didn't have any issues with tantrums. She was fed. So I use a glass to put my fillings in, or my bags in, because trying to hold a bag and fill it with royal icing that is sticky. And girl, I swear you dump those cookies on the floor, we gonna have a problem. So, hey. And then I miss contingencies, like I put, yes, thank you, I'll take that, because your hand is blue. Hoy. The baby girl contingency plan is in full effect. Girl, how do you get into everything? How? Toddler life. Flash fan, I appreciate that. Well, I've learned a long time ago that you're going to get haters no matter what you do and how much you try to be a people pleaser. I learned that from the the family situation that either way, somebody's not going to like me. Like, somebody's going to think my opinion is stupid. And guess what? If I pay attention to, because I had really bad anxiety, and I still technically have really bad anxiety. The downside is, or the upside to my anxiety, is I just stopped giving a shit. And I stopped saying that my anxiety runs my life, because anxiety makes me think that everybody in the world is talking about me and cares what I do. And quite frankly, that's the farthest thing from the truth. Very small number of people actually care what I do. So, by stop caring what so many people think of me, life got a lot easier. I didn't realize how tall my toddler is getting. And then when I say tall, I mean this girl has the reach that she never used to have. So it's a battle trying to keep things out of her reach. And my computer just froze. So I will be back because, of course, Dad, this is what happens. I get into a stream and Chrome decides that it wants to not work anymore. And I can't fix it without having to reload and get out and then hard reset Chrome because it doesn't respond. I have to force quit. There we go. Yeah, Dad, it happens all the time. At least twice a stream. It's almost like the Megan Fox conundrum. People that know and that have been watching Megan Fox for a while, she had a problem where her computer would all of a sudden just stop working for what seemed like no reason at all. I think it's just that my computer's not that old. My computer's from 2015. I think we figured out the other day. But the fact that I was never streaming before, so I never planned on streaming, so I don't think that I got a King Bob. Grandpa Squid is helping out enough with this home buying process and trying to act like an adult and be the best grandpa he can. Hi. And as you can see, we are all in our fields today. Girl. Here's your remote. It doesn't do anything. It still happens. General Calamari. Is that my new nickname? And I'm trying to oh, Tammy, I promise I am not skilled enough to make a business out of this. Otherwise, I would make and send cookies to people. I do have a friend who actually owns a cookie business. She is a lot more skilled than me. I just do this for fun because it's a talent that I was talking to Rosalind the other day because Rosalind is so creative. And I was talking to her about creativity and the fact that I am not creative. And she made a good point. She said something along the lines of everybody has a creative outlet. You just have to find it. Well, this is my creativity. This is where my creative outlet. The problem is this is what happens to your fingers. So for the next week, I will look like I'm part of Blue Man Group. King Bob, the problem with installing different things on my computer is I have a laptop. So there is only so much space that I can do. And yeah, my dad's computers, although he's my IT guy. I mean, I love Brad too. Like Brad's a good like YouTube IT guy. But my dad got me my first computer. Well, it wasn't my computer, but it was an Apple IIc. So I've been using computers for 35 years and I still suck at them. But I swear there is this something that happens to technology when I touch it. My energy and technology don't jive well. This is my last one. This is my last bag. All the other ones are done. And the thing that makes this really hard is Zach better get his butt in this chat because he and I are doing a 24-hour fast. So I'm literally making these cookies, decorating these cookies, and I can't actually eat these cookies right now, which is actually good because then more of them will actually make it to the 4th of July celebration. However, I am looking at sugar, knowing I have a sweet tooth, and cannot eat them. The upside is today's the 1st of the month. We are starting July off on a positive diet note with giving my digestive system a break, letting my blood sugars balance out, just figuring out how to get back on track because the last 3 weeks or so, I have not been, I've been working out and doing a lot more strength training, but my diet has been by far the most, not the greatest diet I've ever done. See, Captain, people are like, if you don't, you need to eat every 3 hours. You need to eat every 3 hours, you know. It's like, no, you really don't. And your body, I love to fast because I feel so good when fasting. And I was told a couple of years ago that I was starving myself. One, I'm not 115 pounds where my body doesn't have extra calories to use for it when it needs. Also, this eating every 3 hours thing is within the last 30 years. Our bodies are, millions of years old. Do you really think our bodies are that stupid to store fat for famine times, but use proteins when it needs to be, like when it gets hungry? It's like, no, our bodies are not that stupid. And it gives your digestive system a chance to take a break and just kind of restart. And of course, it's not for everybody, health conditions. Sometimes people need food with, or food with medicines that they have to take. But if you can do it, it's great for you. It kind of just resets the body. And for me, it always helps with my pain levels because of the fact that I'm not eating those inflammatory foods and I'm just giving my body a rest. So we are pretty much here. It's settling in itself. Yeah, and Captain, the thing about fasting is I follow, if you can, follow Dr. Pradeep Jannatis. He's a cardiologist who has a YouTube channel, and Dr. Jason Fung, who is a nephrologist out of Canada. And those two are like fasting for survival kind of people. And the thing I've learned about fasting and why people don't like it is it's cheap. It's free. See, and Mama Squid, that's why it's not for everybody. Because if you are at a weight where you need to eat for survival, then fasting is not for you. But if you are someone who is insulin resistant, and I'm not a doctor, so this is just what I've read based on the research and my own personal experience. This is not medical advice by any stretch of the imagination. But from the research, it is not good if you are too small. Because generally, if you are at a healthy weight, you are also at a point where your blood sugars are at baseline and you don't need the extra, you don't need to. But for someone who is like me and a tad bit hefty, I got my dad's side of the family's body type with my mom's height. So it's an interesting connection. So Baby Squid figured out where the remote was, grabbed the remote for this TV, and is currently trying to get on iHeartRadio's app. So we will see where this goes. Yeah, that's a great phrase, Captain. And right now, I am living to eat, and I can't figure out how to stop myself. So I am going to run this to the sink so that Baby Squid doesn't get it. Flash fan, have a great day. I will see you later. And by all means, be on replay, crew, or I will see you on the next stream. Have a great day. I will be right back. All right. So I usually have some sketches that I like to follow where I try to follow, like have a plan of how I'm going to decorate these. Right now, I got nothing. I just got some cookies. I got some bags. And we are going to practice. So I got a wet washcloth or a wet paper towel to clean the tips of the bags. I have a pair of scissors, and I'm trying to keep this area clean so that one, cleanup is easier at the end of the day, and two, I can figure out what I'm doing. So here is my giant bag of cookies. We have some stars, some hearts, and some circles. So we are just going to start to pile them up. And I figured this was not my normal streaming time, but this can get kind of monotonous. And the thing about if I'm going to do this, I like to have people to talk to. So I figured, why not make it a stream? Something different from law talk and drama that's been ensuing. Something kind of fun. So these bags are, I don't know what kind of design I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of go with it. So one thing that I usually use too is a turntable, which I have. It's just, it doesn't always work out great. So, okay. So what you'll learn is sometimes you didn't cut the hole big enough, and you need to just start over. So the good thing about it is I have my little scribe and I just go whoop. Baby girl. Hi. Hi. So we just go. And it just kind of. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And some of these might turn out a lot better than others, but when you have a yelling toddler who just wants to do her thing and wants to be the center of attention, baby girl, I have stuff over there for you to play with. Yeah. We do. Yeah. Mama gave you a bag all of your own. Yeah. I gave her a piping bag with powdered sugar in it. So she can just do. I'm doing okay, Zach, except for the fact that I am staring at bags of colored powdered sugar. So, yep, not big enough. So we got to recut the hole. That's what she said. This is the time I wish I had a soundboard, because some of the things I say when I'm doing this, I look at it or I hear it out loud and it's like, holy crap. Hey, King Bob, you're one of your alter egos. Thank you for the like. And please, if you find this stream entertaining, give it a like. And if you don't subscribe, what's wrong with you? No, just kidding. And I haven't decorated cookies for a few months. So if these first ones turn out a little slow, like we're just taking our time and figuring things out. And I also don't want to overfill the cookies. Yes, Zach is here. And Scrody, the troll of all trolls. You know, you're not a really good troll anymore. And the reason I say that is because we get along. When you first showed up on the scene, you annoyed the crap out of me, and I had to troll you back. But you're not a troll anymore, which is kind of fun that you're not a troll anymore. But it's also like, oh, you're not a troll anymore. Well, that sucks. So I did that. Let's try. Yeah. And these are the new bags that I'm not fond of. They're more like buttercream piping bags. Yes, Unhung Hero. I hadn't mentioned that because I wasn't able to completely read up on a lot of it, but I saw a couple headlines that the Supreme Court ruled that Trump is immune from prosecution on things that were official duties, which seems like it would be obvious. But apparently that's not that's I don't know. Hey, hon, what we doing? Yeah. Yes. I don't know if y'all can hear her, but I have a bar height table, and she is under the table on my legs, trying to tickle my legs, which is making decorating just that much more fun. Because, we all know, how reflexes are. Yes, I love it when and Zach, my dad, is in the chat. Dad, meet Zach. He is my resident fat shamer, but not a mean one. Just a keeping me accountable to my goals. And basically what I did is just a bunch of circles, and then you drag it through, and then you clean your Baby Squid is not a troll in training. Baby Squid has been trolling since the day she was born. She has a talent for trolling. Let me tell you. And today, when she starts actually talking where you can understand her all the time, because right now she gets hi, yes. Sorry, the chat is gonna see my chunky legs, but you're gonna put Baby Squid right here. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Here. There we go. Ugh. Yes, like mom, like baby, but also like father, like daughter. Like my dad and my mom are really good at trolling people too when they want to. They don't really call it trolling, and they don't exactly know what that they're doing it, but they are troll extraordinaires. So that was just a super basic, a super basic design, which it looks way more complicated than it is. So what I am going to do is I'm going to try this for the first time. We're going to see how these work. This is just an experiment. I've done this before, but one, I've never streamed it. And two, I've never, I usually have a plan of what I'm going to design, and I don't. There is no plan. I usually have, on my iPad, I draw out some designs of things I want to do, and I just didn't. We're just winging it. And since I haven't designed any cookies since Christmas, we are going to see if my my line work is good enough, because it could be, and it might suck. We don't really know, but we're going to figure it out together. Yes, Zach, Grandpa Squid is my father. Mama Squid is my mom. They're not trolls. Rogue Mama was asking if Mama Squid was a troll the other day. She's a troll, but she's a real troll. Like, she's my mother. And circles are so much fun to try to do. And you know what? Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So you just kind of got to go with it. And I'm just going to line a few. I set them up and I let them dry. What's everybody else got going on today? It's, yeah. See, on Hero, I try to stay off of Twitter unless it's like I get tagged in something or people, or I'm posting something about my channel. I try not to just go on Twitter for the sake of going on Twitter because it's a cesspool. It's a lot of the people that are on there, not all, because some of them are my friends, but a lot of people that are on there seem to have a lot of time on their hands. And people wonder why they're so depressed just because they hang out on Twitter all day instead of getting into the real world. So, yeah, Karen Reed Verdict Watch. That's a heartache in itself. Like, I don't understand why it's taking them so long. The prosecution had a weak case to start with and did not, in my opinion, prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she did anything. And also, it's like, I've seen videos accounting for the dog bites and or what appear as dog bites. And the prosecution seems to have this, like, I don't know. It's like, I'm not one to believe in a lot of conspiracy theorists, but in the last few years, it's like conspiracy theorists like 34, everybody else 0. So with each case, I'm becoming more of a conspiracy theorist and more of a anarchist with every case. So it's hard to put into words and I know I always say that it's hard for me to put things into words, but I had brain surgery, so it's literally hard for me to put things into words sometimes. Like, I hate to use that as an excuse, but sometimes the brain fog is real because I am like, it's hard for the word finding is sometimes very difficult. And I can't seem to make that any better. And I know it's only going to get worse as I get older. So some of these designs, I'm literally just winging. Like, I have no idea what we're doing. This is just I'm glad I did actually write stiff. Baby girl. No, you can't have the glass, but you can have that. So every activity that I had for her, including stuff that that was in my, like, stuff I was using so that she wouldn't feel left out, she has thrown on the floor. She has cookie decorating supplies, spatulas, things that are hers, that were gifts to her, so that when she gets old enough, she can help me out. Or she can feel, not exactly help me, but she can feel included. And everything that I've used, that I've given her, she has thrown on the floor. Which is like a total girl thing to do. Like, I don't want anything, I don't want my own stuff. I just want your stuff. Yep. She just wants what I'm using and not her own. And I'm just kind of winging this. We'll see how it turns out. The good thing about cookie decorating when you're not running a business is no matter what they look like, they still taste good. So there is that. And the trick is with the flood, and when you're flooding, is not to overfill the cookie. Because if you overfill the cookie, you're going to get spills. And they are so much fun to clean up. Yeah, JKD Buck, that's how I feel too. Except for the fact that when I'm doing things like this and I'm streaming and I'm like wanting, or people are asking me questions and I'm trying to read something, and this is a really thick consistency. So this consistency should hold its shape since I'm not doing a traditional line work. But we're experimenting because I've never made this many consistencies before. Just because, one, they're hard. Usually I just do a fill and a flood, or a flood and a line. But I kind of am curious as to how things are like increasing my my range. So we're cutting these a little thick. And I'm also not using my my turntable. So we're just doing this by hand. So when I did make this yesterday, since I used vanilla in my icing recipe, I did add white food coloring to my icing to prevent. They say it helps with color bleed. I'm not really sure that's true, but I wanted to make sure that my white icing was white, because we all know pure vanilla extract is not white. It is obviously it is a brown color. So I did not want it to turn my icing, when you're supposed to be making America cookies. Yeah, America cookies. And your white icing is not white. So they say it helps with color bleed when you're using highly pigmented and saturated colors. But we will see. I've never had a problem with color bleed. Even last year, I don't think I was at the point where I added white food coloring to I just thought it looked fine the way it was. What happened, Angel? Oh, beautiful. Red, beige, and blue. Yeah, that's couldn't you see that working out so well? And the point of this stream was just to experiment, not only with cookies. Hi, beautiful. Do you want to come up here? Okay. Okay. Hold on. Bear with me. Yes, Angel. Yes, beautiful Angel. Mm-hmm. Oh, if y'all could see my dining room right now, my normal, semi-clean, or at least picked up and dusted table and my dining room floor looks god-awful right now. I can't even tell you how awful this looks. Yes. And I'm also using a stool from my kitchen to get a little higher, but I think that's going to have to go. Yes. Angel, I need my scribe back because you are going to hurt yourself. So there. Now I have a little bit lower of a... Thank you. I'll take that. Yes. You scribe. Here, paintbrush. Girly girl. She is getting into everything. So now all my stuff is pushed to one side, which is not exactly the way I was hoping that would go. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do to get by. And toddler life is, yeah. Toddler life. We love it. It's so much fun. Whoop. Wrong one. And also, usually when I've done this in the past, somebody else has been here. Yeah, King Bob, I saw your MRI, and good Lord, hon. Like, bless your heart. Like, I hope that you get some relief, something soon, because that looked like it hurt. Like I said, we're just experimenting. Hey, Angel, I can't bring you up here right now. There's no space. You're fine. We've been like this all day. So part of our issue right now is just the fact that we're just not in a good mood. And baby girl, I know, honey. Well, I could bring you up on the chair, but I don't want you to fall. Here. You got to stay still, though, because this is high. This is high. Here. You can have Mama's phone. Yeah. But you got to stay there because she's right now on the stool that I had before I moved back with this chair. And I'm trying to work quick because, as you can see, me taking that time to move her around, my icing started to harden, which is kind of defeating the purpose of what I want to do. But I did kind of like that stars and stripes that I did before. So we are going to try to do it with the different consistency. Let's see if we can. And bless you. And I wanted to do this as a stream because this is a monotonous process. And it's she will, Dad, I have it right here. It's literally to my right, but she is reaching for everything and she is throwing everything on the floor. So it will not work with her doing that because her hands will be here. And although we try to keep our hands clean, she is a toddler, puts her hands in her mouth, among other places. And I really don't want to, I really don't want to get that on my cookies because other people are going to be eating these. And I don't want to, it's a sanitary thing. Girl, those are mine. Thank you. Girl just picked up the, girl. See, she's already, like, yeah. Yeah, no ma'am. We're done. Like, we got blue icing all over our hands now. So when Daddy asks you why you look like a Smurf, you can tell him you touched stuff that you weren't supposed to touch. Yeah. Yeah, you touched stuff you weren't supposed to touch. No ma'am. Girl, you are done. Like, you are done. You need to come over here and you need to play with your toys. You are fine. You are fine. Tantrum in real time. Can y'all hear? This is how we've been all day today. Like, there is no There is no pleasing her today. We are just in a mood. We are just in a mood. We've been like this since we woke up this morning. No, ma'am. If you're gonna be over here, the cookies are coming over here. Okay. Yeah. Because you, my dear, just have to touch stuff. Yes. Mm-hmm. Can anybody give me an update on the Karen Reed situation? Are they going to be... I do need Megan hold music. And Brad sent it to me to help with tantrums. But I lost it. Because, of course I did. So, yes, you can have this though. Thank you. And I've moved these around. I had these bags organized as far as like what I wanted where. Like keeping track of what was flood, what was my different consistencies, and now I'm having to go by feel. Yeah. That's why I'm holding on to it. Because she is right here. Yeah. And this is what happens when we drop stuff on the floor. Because we're going to fall off of that chair. And I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen either. So we're doing the same thing we did before. We're just doing line work. And this is where I like to have my turntable because I like to turn it around. And my turntable is somewhere over there. Broken Baker hit 10K. I'm curious to see what Broken Baker thinks of my cookies. Because, being the baker and all, But it is what it is. I wish I could do a stream with him. He is so much fun. And the fact that him and Valhalla have been streaming this trial, I just can't. Like, I don't know where you find that time. Like, I just don't have the patience to sit and watch something that's infuriating. And the fact that they have the talent to do that is amazing to me, because this girl gets easily annoyed when I feel something is wrong. Roslyn! I was just talking about you earlier because you made a really good point when we were talking. A couple, like, I don't know what it exactly was, maybe like last week, when you said everybody has a creative outlet, you just got to find it. Well, this is mine. So this is my my creativity. We're working on trying to figure out different techniques and what works, what doesn't, and we're just doing it. Boy. See, and sometimes I don't either, but I think the reason that I kind of have the patience for it is because it's the one thing that I've always thought made me different than a lot of other people. Because you can't compare someone to someone else that doesn't even do this. So it kind of was my outlet as far as like I can do something that other people don't either can't do or don't want to do. Because the thing is a lot of people could probably do it, but it is monotonous and it is time consuming because um I bake and freeze my cookies. That way I know they're fresh, and I have a recipe that freezes great. Like the recipe I uses brown sugar, and since I am trying to shrink the size of my butt, the recipe that it uses a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar. And in place of the white sugar, I use like Swerve. So you can't tell a difference with the texture, but the calorie count and the amount of sugar actually in my cookies is lower than what you would get at, a bakery, or if you just followed the recipe. And what I love doing is taking recipes like that and just trying to make it my own. Eventually, I'd love to try to do a gluten-free cookie. Because one, it's fun to experiment. And if it doesn't turn out, oh well. And then if anybody actually does need that someday, I know how to do it. So we're going to let this one dry. See, and the patience part comes in actually like waiting for things to dry. And woo, 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 woo. Okay, there you go. Holy crap. She just tried to. Hey, you got. Yes. No, you got. Oh, Angel. We are just having a day. So I need that hold music because somebody needs to go probably down for a nap. So yeah. Somebody just, oh my goodness. Baby girl. We are just having a day. And hey. I know. We're just having a day. Yeah. We are just having a day. What am I doing that for? Guys. Hey. Yes. This is our struggle today. Because and it's not even like, even holding her, she's still like moody. It's not like she just wants mom's attention today, because I would have canceled those streams or this stream if she just wanted to be held. But it's not even that. It's we're having a constant, like, I don't know, we just woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. I know, JKD Buck. Oh my goodness, taking a nap. My childhood, what I thought was a punishment, is and she wants to play with this. And this is one of the reasons she's getting mad at me right now, is I'm not letting her play with a sharp object. Like, she can be mad at me all she wants. I'm not letting her play with a sharp object. Like, yeah, I'm not letting you play with it. So I am going to go try to put her on the couch reclined, so she can see me, but yet she can relax. Yeah. You want to go watch Cocomelon? So please hold. Let's see if I can let's see if we can feeding the ducks. I don't know what this sound is, but we're going to find out. All right, guys. So I have the ability to add music to StreamYard. So I will see if Brad can resend me that hold music, because I don't know where he sent it to me from or what I did with it. If what platform it was on, it's one of those things that I just couldn't keep track of. Oh, it was a little thicker than I wanted. Here's my flood. And I'm trying to go right up to the edge. I mean, I know this stream is kind of boring, but like I said, I'm doing this regardless. I might as well take y'all on an adventure with me and help me prep for my 4th of July, because I was going to do this regardless. But last year I made a strawberry pie too. I was thinking I might do that again, because that was really good. I don't want to do the same thing 2 years in a row, because I'm going to the same person's house as I did last year. But at the same time, like, it was really good, and I haven't made it since last year. So we're going to let this one dry, and then we are going to see about trying something different. When that dries, I can do a design on top of it. Right now I was doing wet on wet, which was kind of fun too. But this is my stiff one. We are going to try something even more different with this. And this is one that I've wanted to do. I just haven't had an icing that's stiff enough, because I usually don't do it so much, and I'm usually in a hurry. But now I'm like, take the chat to. So this is just a paintbrush, and these are paintbrushes that have never been used for paint. These are my these are specifically no paint. These are icing only. But we'll see how this turns out. And we're just gonna, you know what? I changed my mind. We're gonna do it this way. So we're just gonna paint. Like I said, I'm experimenting and learning what I want to do with some of these cookies. Because sometimes I have a plan for what I want to do, and then we just change it up mid design. And it's kind of like just playing around. And that's what makes it fun, is I'm just playing. Like, this is my art, and my art doesn't last because people eat it. Like, so this is a thick or an outline. So we'll see. And this is black. And my black turned out to be more like a dark gray. But it'll dry on the cookie a little bit darker. So Always works. I am a lefty. Yep. I am a lefty. Mr. Squid makes fun of me sometimes. I'm the only lefty in my entire family. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing with this right now because this is black and obviously black is not involved in like red, white, and blue. When you think 4th of July, you think red, white, blue, not black. But I'm just trying to see if I can do something different and maybe put some blue on top of this. Like, I don't know what design this is. This is just me making texture, and it's kind of fun. Unhung Hero, you're one of my favorite people because no matter what, you make me laugh in any chat you're in. So Unhung Hero, I did a reading last night with Bruce from Oregon and Chris Jenner about Sarah Boone. You think you can fix her? Since we know that's one of your favorite things to try to do is fix people. So we're going to let that dry and we're just going to see. I kind of did a little texture thing, but it's like a black and white cookie. Like, I don't know. I just kind of felt like throwing in a black and white cookie just to see if I could do it. It's not like your typical, I am mildly amusing. I think you're all funny, but in your own ways. Like, no one has the same sense of humor, which is great. But also, y'all have the same somewhat dark sense of humor that I do. So it works out. Because we, sometimes when I make jokes and things that I think are funny, some in real life friends find it, probably could fix her, but I don't want to. My 6'1" ass wouldn't fit a Samsonite. I mean, are we okay? Everybody said Samsonite, but are we sure that it actually was a Samsonite? I've not watched the video, so I don't actually know what the suitcase itself looks like. And anybody that doesn't know, specifically my mom and my dad, Sarah Boone is the next case I'm going to cover. Well, Alec Baldwin is technically the next case I'm going to cover because that is in the next couple of weeks. Alec Baldwin trial starts July 8th is jury selection. So I'm going to cover that. So if you want to see steam come out of my ears, watching Alec Baldwin try to defend unaliving someone, that will be the time to do it. Because I can't stand him to begin with. And then this just infuriates me. So if you really want to see steam come out of my ears, this is probably the trial you might want to watch. But the trial that I'm covering after that and that is ongoing is Sarah Boone. Long story short, she was drinking and her boyfriend and her were playing hide and go seek, quote unquote. And she shoved his butt into a suitcase, and that's where he had his last moments. So you can imagine how she what her mentality is right now. She's gone through 8 lawyers. She is now representing herself pro se because the court is making her because she's gone through so many lawyers. The 16-page document from the court on Friday pretty much went through the entire timeline. Well, it didn't pretty much. It it went through the entire timeline of what the all the lawyers. 7 of the 8 were court appointed. So she yeah. And she writes letters to the judge. Yes, pro se will be the most fun that I think any anybody will have. And I used the wrong stiffness. There we go. For that, but that's okay. Live and learn. I'm trying to do some different texture things. And also, I don't try to be boring with this project, but doing the same things over and over again just are boring, and they taste. So you get the taste of the cookies, and I like to make sure that the cookie recipe I use actually tastes good, because, you know, like, what's the point of doing it if it doesn't taste good? Like, yeah, you get the pretty designs, but if the cookie itself doesn't taste good, then everybody's gonna look at it. But I want something that tastes good, but also just a flat layer of icing. You get it's the same taste. So by having an icing that not only has a little flavor with the vanilla, but also you get a little bit more here, a little bit more there. It's kind of like a cake. You know, you get a little more icing in one bite than you do in the next, and it keeps things interesting. And I am all for keeping things interesting, because doing the same thing over and over again is just boring. So I'm surprised there's actually 10 people here watching me. Like, I mean, I guess this is the equivalent of like a painting stream. I'm just not painting a canvas. I'm painting cookies. So, I mean, I guess it. Yeah, I think I'm going to put blue on the bottom, but I don't have that super thick consistency of blue. So I'm going to wait for this to dry and then pipe an outline of blue. So I have a cookie or a drying sheet, like a cooling rack, that I'm just trying to use to let my cookies dry. So I'm gonna paint this one, let this dry, and I might not, you guys might not see like the second steps, because they have to dry. The first layer has to dry before I can put the second layer on. But I'm just gonna paint, and that's kind of why I grabbed a second cookie, because I already had the them out. So let's make this a little bit more. There we go. So you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to turn a light on because the sun went away. I think it's supposed to rain, but it's July, so it's like, you know, chance of rain every day. But we did get some severe storms here last night. I slept on the couch for part of the night because it was so loud that I just couldn't fall asleep, and I wasn't about to toss and turn and wake up Mr. Squid. But the weirdest thing happened last night. He and I'm just taking the extra icing because I put too much on and putting it on this one. This is actually an interesting, like, describing what I'm doing is new for me, but it's kind of cool. Like, I'm surprised there's this many people here actually like watching me do this, because it's monotonous. That's one of the reasons I like to change up designs, is because if you do the same thing over and over again, it is so boring. And it takes a long time. And I have 4 dozen cookies to do. I'm not going to do them all on stream because I'm not going to bore you all to death. But it is kind of fun because even here, like, I'm going over the edge of this cookie that I normally wouldn't be able to do with just a piping. So it kind of gives a different texture, which, like, I don't want to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. So I like to play. And this is kind of my experiment. And that's also, like, I don't like to do the same thing as everybody else is doing on YouTube. So, like, with these, yes and no. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't. My dad asked if the fans run on my laptop when I stream. And hi, Sylvia. Nice to see you. I'm doing the randomness of my cookie stream. We are we're going to change something up real quick, though. We are going to layouts. There we go. Get rid of that background. So I'm going all the way up to the edge with this one that I normally wouldn't be able to do with a regular, like, piping and flood, which is like the normal of what people do. And I will be right back. I have to grab my sanding sugar, which is on the floor. Shocker there. So between Christmas and now, I bought sanding sugar. I just got this one at Hobby Lobby. I was like, what's the big thing that everybody likes to go to? So I'm going to try sanding sugar. Oh, Sylvia, paintbrush can help do so many different things. Before you got here, I did this one. So I put basically a dot and then just ran the paintbrush through it. And I'm waiting for it to dry so I can do a blue detail like the flag. But we'll see about doing just sanding sugar. And I'm just using the, this is just the cover of one of my Pampered Chef bowls. Figured what better way to, because it's got a little lip on it that, there. I'm trying new things and experimenting because just doing the same old, because this is kind of my go-to right here. This is my go-to. It looks more complicated than it really is, but it's boring. I've gotten to the point where it's so easy for me to do that it's just like, it's just boring. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me who finds it boring, and it looks cool to other people, but I think I've done it so many times that, like, and I really don't know what I'm doing with this cookie. This is just a learning opportunity for me. Because that circle is just not even close to, that line work is sad. So we're just learning. And since the red's not dry yet, one of the benefits of letting the bottom layer dry is if you don't like the layer you just put on, you can wipe it away. But since I can't, because that bottom layer is still wet and the edge work or the line is thick enough where it's not going to sink down into the previous layer. I have to figure out something to do with it. So we're just kind of going to paint it down too and just see what we get without trying to mix the two colors together, because then they just end up brown. The good thing about if you mess up a cookie, you just eat it. Except for today because Zach. Because Zach. No, Zach is helping me. We're starting off July on a let your digestive system get a break from food. Hey, we were good for a little bit, and now we're back to fussy. What happened? What happened, ma'am? What happened, my beautiful girl? Yes, baby girl. Here's your sugar. Two. Oh, okay. You want it? I know. We can't have it both ways. We're to the point where I know. I put her on my lap and she wants to get down, but I pick her up. But I put her down and she wants to get back up. Like there's a no-win scenario here. Yes. We're in a lose-lose situation and I don't know what to do. Mama's at a loss. But we also have red sanding sugar, so we're just experimenting. Yes. Taste test. That's the thing about a cookie is no matter what the design looks like, the cookie's good. So if the design gets screwy, you just give it to your taste tester, which, not perfect, but I salvaged something. Hey mom, this one's for you. The cookies are part of Grandma Squid's babysitting fee, because my summer babysitter is Nana. So because my summer babysitter is Nana, so this is how this one turned out. It's sort of dry. I didn't do any, usually I would flatten out the line work, and I didn't. I just kind of let it go because I wanted to see how it looked if I didn't mess with it at all. So I kind of like the split down the middle, but I made the color black specifically for this reason. So I wanted to see, here, pretty girl. You want one? Here. And these cookies are super soft. So, hey David, thanks. I got my recipe from a girl on Facebook actually. And I can't remember the name of the channel right now because, brain fog. So my frosting is powdered sugar, meringue powder, and vanilla. And then I add white food coloring to it. I have AmeriColor food colorings. I add food coloring to it because it is the best way that I've found to make sure your icing is white. And supposedly it helps with color bleed. Like I said, I really wouldn't know about that one because I've never had a problem with color bleed before. But they say it helps. So what I wanted to do with these, with the black was the outlines. So we will see how this works. No worries. You know how many times I put things in chat where I'm like, what was I even talking about? You did not just Okay. When I saw Joe, it was like the first thing I thought of was you did not just compare my butt to Sleepy Joe, but apparently we did. Not that I give my little one Sugar a lot, but these cookies are baby squid approved because she is eating it up. Maybe that was her problem the whole time, is she wanted a cookie. So I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go. Because I didn't even look at designs. Like, usually I look at, like, Pinterest or something for some designs. Didn't do anything. I just said, let's go and experiment and see how many people I can annoy on YouTube today. Because yeah, teenagers will think that stuff is lame, but at the end of the, like, I figured out that she's gonna think a lot of things that I'm doing in her life are lame, but at the end of the day, it's a kid thing to call things lame, but it's also a thing to look back on in 20 years and say, I did that. It was a good idea. I like that idea. So we are just going to do some lines. We're just going to see how this turns out. I think I saw a design somewhere like this for Valentine's Day with obviously pinks and reds. But whoop! See, and when you have something that happens like that, you just take your scribe and you just push it away. Can I have my scribe, please? That is mine. Like, you are not allowed to play with sharp objects. She is now right next to me. So, right here, you can see her leg. But she's actually remaining somewhat calm. But we'll see how long that lasts. So with this one, I'm literally just... And I'm probably going to make some shorts out of these. Just of the ones I actually like. Trying to expand my range. Figure out where my little corner of the YouTube world is. Because, you know, I don't want to be like everybody else. Because not that everybody else is boring. But if I do what everybody else does, I'm not special. And why would anybody want to just subscribe to me if I'm literally doing the same thing as everybody else? And to me, like, that's one of the reasons that, like, when I read a document, I try to, well, things always kind of pop off on days when I work, as we've all figured out. So I don't get to it till like a day or two later. But one of the things that I try to do is not read beforehand. I see how long it is, so how long it's going to take me to read it. And I make sure, like, I download it and I read the first page to make sure that I'm getting, like, I have the, you know, accurate information and I'm reading the correct thing. However, I find that if I read it beforehand, it's boring because I already know, it's boring. I already know what it says. So my reaction and my commentary is pre-planned, for lack of a better, like, way of describing it, versus if I don't read it beforehand, y'all are getting my my first thoughts. And I think that's way more entertaining for you to see my initial reaction to certain things that are phrased certain ways, how things are said. And although this is taking a long time, I kind of like the way this looks. Like, and I'm using my turntable, I usually put my turntable on a on a piece of dicing, the thing we used to use in the, well, they still use it. I just don't work in a clinic anymore to use it. But it's basically a sticky pad, and keeps things from moving. You used to put it under like cushions on a wheelchair. I put it under my silverware trays in my drawers to keep my silverware trays from sliding around. I usually put it under because it makes the turntable turn a lot easier. But I also like this. I knew this one was going to be messy, so I put just a paper towel. The only thing I don't like about cookie decorating is how many paper towels I go through when I'm doing this, because it I use a lot. A wet paper towel to wipe off the end of the bags, the tip of the scribe. But I'm kind of liking the layering and how this works. But it's obviously I think I might do this one again, because this is kind of cool. It's a mess, or it's, time consuming, and it's messy because, you go over the edge of the cookie, but it's kind of nice. And then what I'll do to get rid of the lines is I take the scribe and you just go on the edge of the cookie and you just push it down and wipe it away. And then I am going to leave this on the napkin or the paper towel just to make sure that it stays, I don't know, it doesn't make a big old mess in my house. Because, my dining room's already a big old mess right now. So, is there any cases that anybody knows about that are coming up that are, super interesting or just bizarre? I heard about a lawsuit that was dismissed by the judge, but I was watching Charlotte Dobre the other day, because, I'm a girl and I do. And she covered, one of her topics of her videos was cheating and stuff. And there's those websites, there's those Facebook groups that are are we dating the same guy kind of thing. She actually covered that there was someone who sued. Crisscross pattern with a diamond. Hold on, let me grab crisscross pattern, fill each diamond with a different color. So basically, let's I'm trying to think of the way to do it. But what if we did whoop? And the thing about it is you just, yeah, my line broke. Yeah, mommy's line broke. Yeah. I'm glad you recognize that, Angel. Yeah. Hi. You want to say hi to Grandpa? Grandpa's in the chat. So is Nana, but you're going to see her tomorrow. Yeah, Grandpa. She picks up the phone and tries to act like she's going to call you. Yeah. Well, huh? I promise. Welcome to my learning experiment. And what happens when a line breaks? You just start over. And I think part of the reason my line broke is because the tip of my bag, the hole that I cut, is just a little too tiny. Okay. Can you hear? Say hi.
Picked up the phone.
I did.
Oh, I thought she did.
No.
I thought, wow, she's getting smart.
Well, she's getting smart, just not in. I don't want her to get that smart quite yet. Grandpa called. You talk to Grandpa. She's looking at the phone, wondering why she can't see you.
Oh, well, I can FaceTime.
Oop, that did not work. We're currently FaceTiming Grandpa while we're on a live stream. So, whoop, did we hang up? Girl, you're not gonna lock me on my phone. Like, I love you, but you've done that before where you locked me on my phone for over an hour. We're just not gonna do that today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, there we go. Well, I kind of like this. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with it, but we're gonna pressure pipe because this is such a small area that I don't want it to crater. So we're just gonna do that and then smooth it out with a with the scribe. Ugh. So we're just experimenting. Anybody have any ideas? The crisscross, I don't know if I can do. Just based on the fact that my line work is subpar compared to Christmas. You can tell that I'm out of practice. Ugh. But I figured we needed a lighthearted stream compared to recent streams where we've been either dealing with Boone. What else did we got going on lately? Laura Owens. All serious, like over, like things that are mentally exhausting. Because even though we know Laura Owens is proven by the court to be a liar, it's still like you're mentally draining, girl. Like, even covering it is getting to be like, I've met a lot of cool people through covering it and knowing about it, and but at the same time, Laura Owens is mentally draining. And girl, you've already had one cookie. You're not having any more right now, okay? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. We just dropped a remote on the floor. So, you want to see how this is going to work. Because this is the first time that I've done, I don't know, I like the puffiness. Red next. I can do red. I like the puffiness of this blue that I did. Whoop, and I got into the blue. So I have color bleed, but it's through my own fault. It's, hey Mom, I have another cookie for you. Well, even if I bring this to the cookout on Thursday, it's still just going to be friends and a bunch of kids. So if there's if it so happens to be that I mess up some of them, it's just going to be for kids. So they aren't as hard on me as, because they're young kids, but older than baby girl. But because of that, they don't judge. They don't know how to judge yet. They're not teenagers. Like, they're like, they just see a cookie that they didn't have to make or buy. Like, so there's my my blue and white stripes. The problem is picking it up without making a mess. Let's see. There's my flood. Here's my stiff. Mom's like, cool, more cookies. More cookies for me. No, no more cookies for you. No. You need a nap. You don't need cookies. You need a nap. Use a spatula. Do you want... Let's see. I don't have a clean spatula right now. The only clean one I have is hers. Well, oh yeah, duh. Yeah, it works, but it also doesn't work because generally I end up flipping it over because, you know, I'm that uncoordinated. But let's see. I don't know what I want to do. Let's kind of go. Hi. Hi. How are you? Can I see this? I need this one. Thank you. So this is what I should have done on that last cookie with the edges. But so if you have a line that's turning out kind of funky, and like I said, I'm no expert at this. This is just my creative process. Fork would probably work, but right now if I get up, right now if I get up, somebody's gonna put their hand in all of this, and that's not gonna go well. But I think I want to do like a lattice work kind of look. So let me make the base white and there's red for stitching. Like, ooh, that's a good idea. Nothing more American than baseball. I never even see, and that's why I out of focus. Oh, that's because it focused on the. There we go. Dude. This camera is. Once it gets out of focus, it's really hard. No, it's not your eyes, King Bob. Here. There we go. Let's see if I can get focused on myself. Maybe not. Whee! I'm going to turn off the camera for a second, readjust it, and see if that'll help. Because sometimes this camera doesn't want to get back into focus. Yeah. It doesn't. Hello. Those are mine. Thank you. There we go. Sometimes the camera just needs to be reset. Yes, ma'am. Mom, I had a bag for you. Not enough light. Yeah, it's hard because the it gets so bright in here, and the light is right above where the camera is. So the fake light from in here is not gonna be I hate the lights in this kitchen or this dining room. Everybody knows how I feel about this dining room, but this dining room is kind of my room because the guest bedroom has all of Mr. Squid's hunting stuff and now his desk. So the dining room, I painted these walls by myself while he was at work. And I did basically all the work in this room, except for he hung the curtains for me because, you know, me and hanging curtain rods is is an interesting experience. But in order to well, this is my space basically. Like, we don't really eat a whole lot in here. We do when we have company, but for the most part, it's in our kitchen or in our living room. We're those people that eat in front of the TV. But that being said, this is my office, and it's right off of our formal living room, which is baby girl's playroom. So I can see her while she's playing, and more importantly, she can see me. Because if she can't see me, that's when we have a problem. So, like, her in the other room, in our family room, won't exactly work out well because she will freak out. And that's when she'll want to be in my lap and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's see. Ooh, that's bright. But so that kind of makes the colors look funny, but at the same time, maybe it'll help the camera not go screwy. But the problem with streaming and lighting setup is I have migraines. So if there's too much light for too long, I get a headache. So it's this like fine line between figuring out an appropriate lighting for the camera and an appropriate lighting where I can stay in one spot for a while without wanting to get a headache or throw up. There we go. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool looking. What do you think? Let's see. Hey, Angel. She's actually watching cartoons from the chair in here. The best of both worlds. She stays calm, and I get stuff done. King Bob, thank you so much for the $10 PayPal. Have a great 4th. I appreciate you. You are so sweet. Really bad at being a troll these days. Yeah, Sylvia, I don't know. Hold on one second. We just had little girl stand up on a bar stool. That scares me more than anything. She's testing her boundaries of her balance, and I'm not entirely thrilled with the idea. I don't know how long. Oh, okay. Dad, that's what you meant by crisscross. Sylvia, I have chronic migraines too. I understand your dilemma. I don't know how long you've followed me or how much you know about my story, but I had brain surgery in 2020 because of my headaches. I had a Chiari malformation, and yes, King Bob here for everybody. Like I said, not a requirement, but if you want to contribute to the let's see, Squid Family Moving Fund, because we have to move sometime in the next few months. Our landlords are selling our house, and they're sweet about it. They're not like, get out and like, they're not being rude. Like, they're sweet people. They helped us out when we needed it, when we were living in our last place. So this is by no means like I'm mad at them. I'm not. We were just not prepared to buy a house for another couple of years. So we are in panic mode is not the right phrasing, but we are in save money mode. And it's not that we are living beyond our means, kind of needing money. It's we did not expect to need to buy a house. And if I look at it this way, if we're going to spend, $1,600 to $1,800 on rent, or more than that, depending on where, we do live in a small town, so rent is a little bit lower than. Thank you, ma'am. This is why I couldn't get up and move, because I just needed to pick up get my other napkin that fell on the floor, and she instantly started to reach for for my stuff, and I'm like, this is what I can't do, Angel. But because this one is kind of like used and abused. Baby girl, what did we do with Mama's paintbrush? Well, we're going to have to figure out a new option. I will be right back. Hold, please. You come here. Oh. No. No sharp objects yet. I'm kind of wanting to do what I did with the other one of paint it and then do a design on top. That wasn't me. I'm not a troll. We are, so back to what I was kind of talking about. This is just a chat with Squid. Learn Squid's life story. We are needing to move within the next few months. They're letting us stay until it sells, but I'd prefer not to be scrambling last minute, and when we only have 30 days to find a place. So I'm looking for places and trying to figure things out, but I'm also like kind of living more like a broke college kid these days, instead of being able to just go out and buy things when I want to. I'm taking my sweet time, and I'm not broke, but I'm acting like it, because it's just, I don't want to be homeless. I have to remember to cover these every time, because the last thing that I want to happen is for someone to grab onto them while I think they're in safe range, and they're not, because nothing is out of this little one's purview these days. She gets into everything. So, and not all of them are like a USA, star or like theme like that. Sometimes it's a little abstract. And you know what? Abstract is kind of fun, because it doesn't have to be like, not everything needs to be stars and stripes. It's cool, but it doesn't need to be as precise as like a flag every time. Sometimes you just need the what looks like and gives the essence of a USA themed. Because also, you don't want everything to look the same, because that's just, I don't like boring. And when you do the same thing every time, it just looks boring. Plus, this is how you learn. Like that edge work, that line did not look like I wanted it to. So I decided to just change it up. Yes, baseballs aren't stars and stripes. And I completely see the brain fog. Like, I thought about it, and then I'm like, wait, what does a baseball look like? Yes, I was going to do it with that white, and then my brain just went in another direction. Because that's what happens to me sometimes. But that's what makes streaming kind of fun, is you never really know where and it's not ADHD. I call it ADHD, but it's really not. I even talked to my nurse practitioner about it this week, and I'm like, I feel like I have ADHD, but they've tested me for it and I don't have it, but it comes across as ADHD. And it kind of makes me feel very ADHD sometimes. I really wish I would have taken the time to make a stiffer blue that would hold its shape a little bit better than it is, because it's kind of melting. So, but this is where, like, being a little bit rushed today was not, like, was not the most fun time, because then I rushed trying to make the lines, and then I rushed. I think I might make more than one baseball if it turns out, because it looked like a lot of fun. But I can use this instead of the super thick one. There we go. I just need enough. Hey, BB. And I'm trying to go all the way to the edge, too, and this is going to test my memory, because although I know what a baseball looks like when you are actively trying to paint, for lack of a better term, a baseball, things get a little more interesting than you'd think. I like that quote. That's hilarious. And thanks for sticking with me for this stream, guys. I know this is probably my longest stream, and it's literally like, I was planning on doing this anyway, so why not have fun and take friends to work with me? Because I tried to do a take the chat to work with me stream the other day, and I don't know how many of you were there for it, but I got nothing accomplished. Like, is it 3 or 4 arcs, or is it 2 arcs and laces? Like this. So, can I see this? Can I see this, please? We're going to look up. Well, yes. I know, Angel. Yes. Yes. We're going to look up. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. Yeah. Here's the fun part, though. It's the laces go. Ooh, that's the dangerous one. Let's see which. There we go. The laces go like. Can I see this again, girl? What we do? Did. Usually when you touch my phone, we Yes. Okay. The laces are like chevrons. Not so much. Please don't throw my phone. Please don't throw it. You break it, you buy it. Yeah, she's adorable. Woo! Let's please not do that, because we're about to fall off. Whee! Sylvia, Sylvia, she's made appearances on other streams out of necessity. I just try to keep her off camera if I can help it. If she's in a mode where she's like inconsolable and I can't help it, then I'll bring her on camera with me. But for the most part, I try to keep her off camera because right now it's fine because she can't, I mean, she can talk, but she can't tell you what her name is. She can't, tell you where she lives kind of thing. But when she's a little older and she does not know, and this is not quite turning out how I thought it would, but hey, this is where we practice, right? Seriously, a mistrial, like a mistrial. And Sylvia, that's kind of the thing. Like right now, she's too small. We're really like, it's not a huge deal, but we're almost at that point where she can say what town she lives in. She can and people know I live in, Georgia, but we're not quite yeah. Mm-hmm. We're not quite at the point where she can dox herself. But when she doesn't know that she needs to keep quiet, girl, this is not for you to play with. Well, I've told you multiple times not to do that. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So, oh, great. So we have to endure this crap all over again. Like, baby girl, can I see this for a second? I need to see what. Yes. Okay, they're backwards. So the chevrons go this way for one and this way for the other. They're opposite. Ooh. And this tip is a little too big for this line work. But, we'll make it work. And then we learn from the experience and we move on. Yeah, I used to live in a lot of different states, and Georgia is not where I'm from, but it's where I ended up. So, the vast majority of my family does not live in Georgia, which is what kind of frustrated me a little bit more about the fact that some of Mr. Squid's family is not as supportive. And there we go. There's my first attempt at a baseball. Let's try the baseball again because that was actually kind of fun. But I think I can do better this next time. I am going to make this just a little bit thicker. Give it a little more texture and a little more flavor because, the point of eating an iced cookie is to get some icing. So, yeah, it's not bad for my first attempt. Like, you can at least tell what it is. Like, looking at it, that it's a baseball. Like, it's not like but the initial line, the piping bag is too thick. The line is too thick. So I'm going to try a little bit different of a... Ooh, we're 2 hours into this stream. I think maybe in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to call it a day. I'm still going to decorate these cookies, but I'm not going to stream it. And then I can put baby squid. I can get her a snack because she's had stuff that I preset out for her, but she needs mama time. 22nd. Okay, thanks for the updates, King Bob. I appreciate the updates considering I'm following that case from the outside looking in, considering it just frustrated the ever-loving bejesus out of me. There we go. This line is not as, the angle's not as good, but at the same time, it's thinner. So, we're getting I like this one better than that one, but, gotta learn somehow. Thanks for joining the, Squid learns how to ice cookies, even though she thought she knew some things, but apparently I don't know as much as I thought I did. Well, I also am out of practice because usually I make them for every holiday, but since we don't go over to Mr. Squid's parents' house anymore, and I am literally probably going to be the only person that eats the majority of these cookies. I kind of want Mr. Squid gets in modes. He'll eat a bunch of cookies one time. He made a chocolate milkshake with our Ninja Creamy yesterday morning at 11 o'clock. But he'll make a couple. He made one 2 days in a row, and then he won't have it for months because he'll get in moods where he wants certain things consistently, and then he won't eat that certain thing for a long time. I made steak the other day, and I thought it was a really good steak. He never even had it. I made one that was going to be for us because we sometimes split it. And then the other one was baby squid's dinner at Nana's house. And my payment for my mom babysitting is to feed her. Well, not feed her, but make it where she doesn't have to cook herself dinner. I will make food for little one and give my mom that same, if I make a steak and I send a steak over, it's not sorry, Mom, you have to eat, hamburger helper when Avery, when she gets a, one of my other favorite YouTubers is on, Matthew Perry and P. Diddy. There's a connection between Matthew Perry and P. Diddy. Who is that that's going live? Because it's just, yeah. Oopsie. This way, we need to go this way. All right, I think I'm actually going to call this a day. I have to get going. I have to try to get her to take a nap. And I also have to do some other things around the house and clean up the mess we've made today. So, y'all have a great day. Let me finish this before I go. And Dad, you have a great day. I know you have to get back to work. Tell your coworkers I said hi and thanks for the housing advice. Oh, I love It's Kim. I found her channel from Andy Signor. I watched Andy Signor's coverage of the Depp trial over on Popcorn Planet. And I also follow him on Popcorn Palace to hear all about this stupid drama that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are always involved in by running their mouths about people that they know won't respond. I have a feeling if the palace could respond, they would respond and they would shut this crap down. But I think it's a pretty low blow to talk crap about someone that you know can't talk back. There's my baseball. What do y'all think of that one? I like this one better. Oh, Steph the Alter Nerd is great too. I found her also through Andy Signor, but then when she started coming on Legal Vices streams, it was great. Like it was like two of my favorites, like worlds colliding. Before I go, I'm going to because we started this one earlier, just to see how we're gonna finish this one. We're just going to press, and I'm going to pressure apply it. Here we go. Because that has such a dramatic, like, has the texture, I didn't want to let this just go. I kind of wanted to do some texture here too. There we go. I think next time I probably would have stopped it a little bit sooner and done more blue. But you live and learn, right? And when you have people that don't care what they look like, they just care what they taste like. It's good. And this one. So this one's our basic star. But give it a little bit of texture. And you don't want to go too far to like, yeah, but you give it that crackled appearance. And I probably could have waited longer and let this harden up more, but I kind of like that look. All right, Angel, we're going. We're going to go outside and play here in a minute, okay? Yep. All right, y'all. There's my textured one. I will see y'all later. Thanks for joining me on my little adventure. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And say bye. Yeah. Say bye, everybody. Say we'll see you later. Have a good one.